Hello, incoming students to the Project in Portfolio 5 Computer Animation class. I am Connor Sullivan. I'm currently enrolled in the course and I am in my final week. I'm hoping this video will kind of help you as you embark on your journey throughout this course. And I will hopefully highlight some mistakes that I made so that you will not potentially make them as well. And kind of how the workflow sort of changes throughout this class as the weeks go on, even though all the weeks are fairly similar. And the first thing that you can really do with this class is, as with all animation as a whole, you don't really have to look at it as a singular class or a subject. You can look at it as something more than that, as something more four-dimensional that you can use in everyday life to help further your craft. And something I started doing when it was my first week in this class is sort of bringing animation into the real world, paying attention to the things around me as far as body language goes, just natural human gestures. Just paying attention to those things can help drive your animation into looking more natural, but also helping you exaggerate those things in your animation in your final pass for week 4. Another way you can possibly do that is study animation itself. You don't really have to go online and look at clips and kind of overwork yourself. Like, I kind of find that paradoxical situation sort of similar to Pinterest, when you're trying to look up an art reference and you just find yourself getting lost on Pinterest and you end up not being able to even start your work because you're just like combing through YouTube, combing through Pinterest, and you're just getting stimulation when you should be focusing on your project that you want to finish. And how I would go about that throughout this class is sort of watch at least one movie before you start embarking on your work, because you want to have a fresh mind when going into this class. So like, it doesn't have to matter which kind of animated movie. Anything that inspires you or motivates you to pursue animation will help you feel less dry about attempting your project, working on your pass. And something more I could recommend with that as well is maybe not when you're breaking down the foundations and getting into the foundations of your animated pass and clip that you're working on. This could possibly be used more for when you're working in the graph editor, cleaning up curves and stuff, because it is very time consuming. I would have just an animated movie on, just to kind of fill the void that's kind of there when you're working through something like curves that are very time consuming. I personally had Across the Spider-Verse on there since it recently came out on digital and physical release. But just something that can motivate you, just to remind yourself why you're doing this and why you're enjoying animation as a whole, why you're in and embarking on your Full Sail journey, and just something that you will know that your attention will not fully be taken away from. Spider-Verse is a very overstimulating movie at times, so like, but that worked for me personally, and helped me kind of be like, okay, this is kind of the quality of animation that I'm kind of working towards. And as with that, you're gonna also want to take a lot of breaks, because working in Maya, especially with this animation pass that's not even 30 seconds long, it is very time consuming. And each week you're gonna have one of those create assignments. And it would be good every now and then, at least an hour or two when you're working, to take like a 30-minute break. Just like if you want to study animation further, if you just want to take a break, kind of decompress a little bit, take a step outside, anything like that, I would recommend that. I probably should have taken more breaks than I did. And with that, like, the biggest piece of advice I can offer with this course is just keep in mind you're still learning, and it's okay to make mistakes. You're not even you. We are not all professional animators yet. because we haven't put in all the time that it takes, because animating takes time to perfect. You will not instantly become a better animator with whatever tip you may see online, because I thought the same thing. I was like seeing all these clips on YouTube, TikTok, being like, this is the one animation tip that you need to... No. I mean, animation can be perfected with that, and it can help your animation, but it will take time. And just know that when you get frustrated maybe with how something is turning out in your graph editor or your play blast that you're exporting, just know that you're still learning, and it's okay to be at the level we are. And just don't beat yourself up about it, because I beat myself up about a lot that I would see myself creating, because it wasn't looking how I wanted it to look in my head. But if you keep in mind, if you're an artist, that's how your journey starts. Because that's why you practice over time, is because you develop a better way of executing. Because whenever you start drawing, you're kind of like, why isn't this turning out how it is in my head? I've been an artist for over 10 years, and there's things that still don't turn out the way I see them in my head. So it will take time, and just know that you're still learning. Don't obviously hold yourself to a high standard as much as you can to help bring out the best work possible, to help yourself kind of move up and build your portfolio, because that is what this class is about. But just keep in mind not to put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box, but also don't hold yourself too highly, and know that it's okay to make mistakes, because it's very easy when you're sitting at the computer for over 8 hours when you're working in Maya to be like, this is taking me forever, when in reality it's supposed to be taking that long. You're perfecting it, you're making it much better than you previously would have thought, and that's okay. It's okay for these things to take time, because it's all for a higher purpose at the end of the day. This is a portfolio class. So that is something I wish I would have been more cognizant of and more aware of in my studies. It's just, whenever you fall into those periods of self-demotivation, just kind of, it's really easy to listen to it, but it's also really easy to tune it out. And that's why I recommend sort of taking breaks, distracting yourself with animation media, things that inspire you. Because when it comes to being an artist as a whole, you want to stay inspired, you want to stay motivated, because that's what keeps us all moving at the end of the day. But that's really it. I mean, just make sure to take breaks. That is the biggest thing, because it is really easy to get caught into an assignment that you're working on, especially when you get close to those end of the week deadlines, and not want to take breaks. But if you do not take breaks, it will be very hard to keep going. So I recommend taking a break every now and then. It doesn't have to be every 20 minutes or so. It can be, but I'm just saying, take breaks. That is the one area most notably that I messed up in. But yeah, this class was really fun. I've never felt closer to animation since this class, so I hope you all have a great time in this class, and I wish you all the best of luck in your full sail careers.